Do your intro, sir.
Welcome to Watchers on the Couch, our 2022 year in review. In case you didn't know, unless you're our neighbor across the street that can hear us talking, we talked for about 30 minutes before I realized we weren't fucking recording. So that's what happens when you haven't been in the studio with other people for an entire pandemic. But this is our first episode in person. I'm Tim.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Chris Naes, in person.
In person.
Yay! See, this time I clapped.
Yeah, we all clapped this time.
COVID-free version.
Yeah, we have not been in a studio together since probably the last season of Game of Thrones. Or maybe a movie episode, but yeah. So in this episode, we're going to talk about some of our favorite things, movies, TV, music-wise, a little bit about what might be in store for us in the new year. Chris has all kinds of notes about some of the shows we watch. We're going to get into some Westworld stuff, probably some His Dark Materials stuff a little bit, so spoilers, but if you're listening to this episode, you've probably listened to our other episodes as well. So not a big deal. I wanted to start off with some fun little stats about you, our Watchers on the Couch in 2022.
Can I stop you for a second? Can I do plugs real quick?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chris has some plugs.
Okay, so...
Not hair plugs.
Thank God.
Not butt plugs.
Not yet, anyway. My hair is slowly migrating off of my body, by the way. Speaking of things we're busy doing in 2022, I've been very busy learning how to play guitar. Okay, so I was able to collaborate with a friend of mine, and I have officially released 2 songs playing guitar. Never existed before in my life, but now it is a thing, right? They're available across all streaming. Your iTunes is, your Spotify's is,
but not HBO Max.
Not HBO Max.
Okay. They took it down. Yeah. It was up for an hour.
The 2 songs are under the moniker Wave Kings, and that's spelled WAVKINGZ. And if you search that, my 2 songs, Toast and Gossip, will come up. And Gossip actually has not hit all of the streaming places yet, but it will very soon. So just search Wave Kings, WAVKINGZ, and you'll feast upon
his toast.
Exactly.
Toast is a good song. I bought it. I have not heard Gossip yet.
Well, join the club, because it's only on Bandcamp and nobody goes there.
That's where actually I buy most of my music now. If it's available on Bandcamp, I go to Bandcamp.
Good. That's where artists are actually paid. So that's great.
There you go.
So that's the end of my plugs.
But getting back to things that aren't paid, let's get back to this podcast. So, fun little fact, this is our third, since the start of the podcast in 2015. We've been doing this for a long time. Back before I was gray. This is our third biggest year. The third most episodes we've ever dropped in a year. 24 episodes this year, Mike.
24.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I don't think I would have guessed it either. I think I would have guessed really close, but I wouldn't have got it on the money.
But yeah,
I think I would have forgot that Westworld had 8 episodes, not 10. Yeah, that probably would have happened.
This is actually fun. The fact that we recorded for half an hour before we didn't record for half an hour.
That's what I was saying. There's going to be new jokes. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Mike actually guessed 26, but yeah, he was really close.
I totally got it right.
So for the listener, our biggest year in terms of, this was our third biggest. 2019, we dropped 30 episodes with Game of Thrones Season 8, Castle Rock Season 2 by Chris Naes and Debbie, and our Watchmen Season 1 coverage. But our biggest year was 2018, where we dropped 42 episodes. That's the reverse of 24 episodes. What does it mean? I don't know.
The meaning of life.
Oh.
42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. And then the world ended shortly after. Well, no, we had another year before the world ended. Where we dropped Westworld Season 2, Castle Rock Season 1, Better Call Saul Season 4, and Doctor Who Season 13. That was the first year that we rebranded into More Than a Game of Thrones pod. And then 2021, a whole one episode.
Yay! So we haven't missed a year.
Technically, we have not missed a year. But that last episode was our wrap-up of His Dark Materials Season 2. That was January 1st, 2021. Wow. We started off with a bang and then stopped because somebody decided to have a kid.
And who was that?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry, it was my wife. But I helped.
You take all the credit.
But I helped back in 2020. I didn't do anything. Right, yeah. I didn't do anything after
that. Was a while ago.
Other fun facts about Watchers on the Couch, our YouTube, where we had our YouTube before this year, but we just occasionally threw up an episode and never promoted it. We had 8 subscribers at the beginning of the year, and we've gone up to 124 subscribers over the course of the back half of this year. So...
Sick Gaines.
Sick Gaines.
Yeah.
Chris Gaines.
Mind Freak?
Yeah. No, that's Chris Angel. That's Chris Angel.
Yeah. Chris Gaines knows where the bodies are at.
Yeah. Garth Brooks does not.
Somehow I got those two crossed in my head. I wonder why.
That's a great mix-up, actually.
I believe Tom actually does have a T-shirt that is a cross between those two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chris Angel and Chris Gaines? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of gains on the YouTube channel, which was very cool. Most of those gains come from people following us because we bashed Westworld Season 4 so bad towards the end of it. And it was well-deserved.
Agreed.
Concur.
Our most viewed episodes were clips from our shows from the bigger podcasts. There's no reason to renew Westworld for Season 5, which HBO seemed to agree with us because it's gone now.
Yeah. Not even on HBO Max anymore.
And they're not the only show that got taken off of HBO. It was like a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took off the Not Too Late show with Elmo.
Why would they do such a thing?
There was another show that had a fully produced second season. They were like, I think they only had maybe 2 episodes left to make, and gone.
That's fucking nuts.
I can't remember what the name of the show is.
What the hell are they up to?
They got to be up to something.
What are they doing?
They're selling those shows to like Roku and shit like that.
Yeah. Well,
Westworld, you'll see it on Crackle.
Is this where we move into Westworld talk?
We can move into some Westworld talk.
Is there any further stats?
No, I don't think so. I think I breezed through the stats this time. We took a lot longer when we weren't recording.
It's probably for the best. Okay, so I did make some notes on Westworld.
All right.
I do think that it was a show that was worthy of your guys' commentary, if maybe not worthy for viewership.
Not worthy of your time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sometimes you make a bad investment. Right? But the commenting on the show is fun because it's so fucking wacky. I particularly remember you guys making predictions, and I was just as lost as to where the hell this thing was going, you know?
It was like Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch any more Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan stuff anymore. I just got duped again, basically, by Pickerill. So, yeah. If it has their name on it, I think I'm going to steer clear.
Mike's like messaging me. He's, hey, if you watch Pickerill, it's actually pretty good.
It started off pretty good.
Trying to con him into watching it too because you're miserable.
I did.
It actually started off pretty good. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I've refused. It's like, nope, if their name's on it, I'm not. Like, they burned me with this season of Westworld.
I didn't even know on Pickerill. I didn't know the last episode was the last episode. That's kind of how bad it was, in my opinion. Because I'm like, wait, because you said some, Tim, when we were podcasting or before we were going to podcast. And you're like, yeah, I think they had the last episode. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, and then I went and looked. I'm like, that was it. Son of a
fuck these people.
I got duped again.
Well, back to Westworld for a second. Aaron Paul, do you think actors regret being on shows?
What? I don't know. I don't think that. Well, I mean, the acting wasn't the problem, so you can't blame the actors for the show tanking.
Is there any actor on the show that you felt wasn't like right for the role, or did you like is it across the board? You thought the acting wasn't the problem?
Wasn't right for the. I mean, the only person I like what's her name, Tessa Thompson. Mm-hmm. I don't like Hale at all. Like, I don't like the way she acts as Hale.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah, because it's not her. It's not. I don't think it was her fault or anything. Or I think she did the job she was supposed to do.
Yeah, she's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I mean, yes, I really think that's a problem with the script. There's just too many levels to the character, and then you got to try to interpret it as the other person who's the other person. It's a whole thing. So, yeah, I think Aaron Paul is going to be just fine. He's an attractive white male, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay.
He's going to be in whatever the next.
They're not wanting for roles. So
you think not?
I think that guy is basically untouchable when it comes to like if he's got a bad project or something, he can move past it because of Breaking Bad. Like
and because he doesn't do anything except grunt. So
sure,
it's like if we need a white guy grunting.
I was going to bring up the guy hanging his legs off of the skyscraper again. But we were all traumatized by that scene, so there's no reason to do that.
Because people don't do that in real life?
People definitely don't do that, except for iron workers, because that's their job.
Just standing on beams.
He could do it because there was a robot right next to him. If he would slip, the robot would catch him.
In Westworld?
Yeah.
You think the robot is going to save the human?
Yeah, George would have caught him.
Okay.
Westworld's going to push him off.
Last thing that I have on Westworld, unless you guys have anything else. If it's revived, where do you think it goes, and what do you think it is? Because HBO obviously doesn't care what happens with any of their shows anymore. It's like, nah, fuck it. Whoa, Sopranos? No, keep that. Everything else? Fuck it. Gotta go.
So, I mean, depending on who picks it up, because I assume they're selling Westworld and it's going to get streamed someplace else. If they revive it, I suspect it's going to be like a quick miniseries or a made-for-TV movie. But even that, I think you could expect like a dramatized podcast or a comic book or something like that.
Yeah.
If they were to finish it off, but I don't think they're going to finish it off. I think it's.
Yeah, I think it'll be done. If they did do some, I think it'd be cool if they did an animated series.
Right.
I think they could do so much with that and not have to have a huge budget to do it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't really know that much about animation budget versus.
I'm not saying it's not like, I know it costs a lot, but compared to like actually doing something in real life versus like just drawing something.
Yeah.
I guess it's a lot cheaper to do.
Sure, and paying voice actors is probably, I would guess, significantly less than paying, an in-person actor or whatever. All right, well, that's all I have on Westworld, unless you guys.
I don't expect Ed Harris to go in and do voiceover work. So.
Well, I think it'd be all new people if they did that, but
I've heard that voiceover work is actually a pretty cushy job. Like whenever actors talk about doing voiceover stuff, whenever they're traditionally an actor who is in person, they're like, "Oh, this is the best." Dude.
Yeah,
like that J.K. What's his name? In
J.K.
Invincible. Yeah,
that Notorious Turf.
Or is that who's the guy that was in the show Invincible? That's
J. Jonah Jameson.
What?
He was, yeah.
Yes,
J.K. Simmons.
Yes, that's it.
Just kidding, Simmons.
Oh, that guy makes me want to throw a cymbal at someone.
Not my tempo.
My fucking tempo. That movie's insane. If you guys haven't seen it,
I've seen clips of it on YouTube. I've never actually
hit that golf button.
It's worth watching. It's definitely worth watching, I think.
All right, so since I'm driving the podcast, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
His Dark Materials. Let's talk about that a little bit.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Well, thanks for letting us know. We'll check it out.
No, so I have not been following along with you guys' podcast because I hadn't watched it up until last week is when I started watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
I am semi binging it. I average like 2 episodes a day or sometimes 1.
Okay.
Right? But I'm up to halfway through season 2.
All right.
I guess maybe in comparison, I like the first season more, but I do like this show a lot.
Is that because there's more James McAvoy in season 1?
No, not particularly.
Wow.
No, the main character actress Lyra, who I don't know what her name is in real
Daphne Keene.
Daphne Keene. She's great. She was in the Logan, and I loved her in Logan. That movie in general is pretty badass.
She's going to be in a Star Wars series.
Yes, I did see that on our IMDb. I'm looking forward to that. But no, this show is His Dark Materials is great. I think the thing I like the most about it is it just freaking moves, man.
Mm-hmm.
It like from the get. Well, I thought it was going to be like a sort of Harry Potter thing because they're at a school, and there's magic going around or whatever.
Sort of.
There's a whole there's a way of putting that that's better than I am right now. But I thought it was going to be a certain kind of show, and it so was not. And it got it got to be something that is something I'm way more into.
It got way dark material.
Yeah, it got dark. It definitely, and it moves very fast in early episodes. And like if you're looking to hook somebody, that's a good way to do it. For my taste anyway. Some of the characters I noticed early on like physically act like they're demon or they're Damon or however they say it.
They're Matt Damon.
They're Matt Damon. Ben Affleck.
They're Matt Damon Targaryen.
Like some people walk around flapping their arms, just like they're
Well,
demon.
no.
I'm like a bird.
See,
away.
I haven't learned character names, so forgive me.
That makes it hard to watch shows. Definitely makes it hard to talk about shows.
Well, the African American gentleman who's a bad guy in the show, he has the snake.
Oh yeah.
When he gets like in and out of a car, you see he like slides into it. It's like little things like that. The monkey lady, the chimp lady or the monkey lady.
Monkey lady.
She gets angry and like screams like that monkey does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, like I picked up on little stuff like that.
She's always eating bananas,
Well, it
climbing
makes you,
trees.
When she flings her shit at James McAvoy, that was wild.
Well, when you're introduced to a show and you have no idea what any of these characters are like or anything, and they go to that length to like make a character more interesting, give you a better idea of what they're like, that helps.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It makes me more interested. So there's that. Do you guys have anything you want to say before I get into a hot take, or should I just go right?
You have a hot take.
I have a very hot take.
Yeah, let me hear your hot takes.
Okay, so I love pretty much every actor on the show except for one.
Okay.
Would you guys like to guess who it is?
Is it James McAvoy?
It is not.
Marissa Coulter.
Nope.
Is it the bear?
The monkey.
Nope. No, come on. We're talking about actors.
Is it the head priest guy?
Nope. Wow, I can't believe you guys didn't just... So obviously you guys don't hate this person as much as I do on the show. Not their character, the actor.
Oh, you hate the actor.
I do not like this actor. I think that he takes me out of every single scene he's in. And I gave away that it's a male. I cannot stand him on screen.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes. 100%.
Wow.
Every scene that he comes on, I am like revolting. I'm like, this guy can't... Super overrated. I'm sorry. I don't buy his character. He goes in and out of his supposedly Texas accent. Like every scene
Who's this guy? Are you talking about Lee Scorsese? The guy
yes.
who plays. Oh, I actually liked him a lot.
Oh, so did I.
Sorry, I'm ruining it for you.
I think especially season 2. Like
Yeah.
he.
Well, I don't know, man. I guess I have to. He's going to be on the show, and he's one of the higher profile actors as well. So they're not getting rid of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris.
Hey, come on now! Don't say things like that, okay? I don't want to. We can mosey into spoiler territory if you want, but I don't want to.
No, you're right. He's in the entire series.
I don't believe a thing he says as a character, because I don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. You
don't buy it because of his accent?
It has something to do with it.
Yeah, because everybody with a southern accent sounds like a bullshit.
Okay, fine. That might be a tertiary point. That's like a side thing. It's not. It bothers me that.
Can you imagine a doctor with a southern accent, with an accent like that? I think we're gonna cut you open and kind of root around in there, see what's going on.
I just don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy him as the character that he is.
See, I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else besides this.
Yeah, I've never seen Hamilton. So
I saw a little bit of that, but like I still don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And my thoughts about Hamilton have nothing to do with this, although I got thoughts about Hamilton too.
He should be rapping throughout this whole show, and he's not.
I watched Hamilton. It's hard to say I actually watched it because I watched it while I was listening to Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds do commentary over it. But yeah, not a fan of that either. But
I watched Hamilton hoping it was going to be a documentary about Linda Hamilton. I was so disappointed.
No, I'm basing this purely on this show and this character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there going like, "Fuck you, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
You and your stupid balloon.
Can't even barely say your name." But I just don't buy him as a character, and that's my problem because he's not going away. So
it is your problem. The show's made now; they're not going to change it for you.
Exactly.
It's over. They're not going. Man, Chris doesn't like this. We need to fucking George Lucas, Lin-Manuel Miranda out.
But
replace him with Sam Elliott.
But Lin-Manuel aside, let's put him to the side.
That's usually what I do.
I like
a side of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I would prefer none. I'll put him to the side, though. I like the casting of the show. The show's just great. Mm-hmm. The show is great. I can put up with him. It's fine. I'm just griping to gripe.
Basically. Yeah, my thing is I don't like Daphne Keene's dad in the show.
Okay.
The actual the bald guy that plays the head priest is actually the actress's real father.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, okay.
I was like, I can't stand him.
I haven't gotten to her dad yet. No, I have. Yeah. No, that's right. What's his name?
McPhail.
James McAvoy.
No.
Well, they say that.
The guy that plays... No, I mean the actress's real-life father.
Yes, the other guy.
Is the bald head priest.
Sure, yeah.
Will Keane.
How did that happen? Is that just like...
nepotism.
They got casted, or...
I mean, I'm sure Will Keane's been in other stuff, but he's always so breathy and talks so slow. He's so fucking annoying.
Is he in other BBC shows?
I don't know. If he has, I haven't seen him in anything.
You're like... With Lin-Manuel, you're like that.
He's my Lin-Manuel Miranda, yes.
So we each have a guy on the show. Yeah. What about you, Mike? Who's your guy or lady?
Daphne Keene.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say. She's adorable.
He was very anti Ruth Wilson in season 2.
Yeah.
Who's Ruth Wilson?
Marissa,
the monkey lady.
Monkey lady.
Yes.
See, when you guys do the podcast next, just call them that again. Call him Monkey Lady. Call him Snake Guy.
We can't do it now because it's over.
Oh, shit. The season's already over?
Yeah.
Fucking...
Show's done.
I thought I was catching up quick, and apparently not quick enough.
We just finished up last night.
Well, I am going to watch... I'm going to watch and then listen to your guys' stuff, so I'm going to get to it.
All right.
And it turns out you guys did some of season 2, so I got to... Or did you do all of season 2?
We did all of season 2.
Shit, and I got to catch up with those.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 of those to listen to.
You'll have there's like 6 episodes of season 2,
right.
I think.
If I remember correctly,
I'm up to 4.
I was probably a little harsh on some of the episodes.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before,
just don't spoil beyond.
No, I did a rewatch and binged season 1 and 2 before season 3 came out, and I liked it way more than I did when it was episode by episode when I was originally watching it. Like, so I'm sure some of my opinions don't really hold up to my opinions now.
Well,
which is
two
strange
things,
because I listened to a couple episodes before we started too. I didn't listen to all of our podcast episodes, but I listened to a couple. I was like, That's kind of weird. I felt that way when I just rewatched it, and I don't feel that way.
I think our main gripes that we've had with His Dark Materials is not that we didn't like it; it's that we want more of it. Like we feel like they're not telling us enough.
Yes. Well, if it's a BBC show, it's gonna be they're probably gonna do less seasons, so you hope for more in the small amount of episodes that we get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're very. I will say the stuff that I've seen and liked on BBC, they're pretty efficient though, as far as like getting the story in. Mm-hmm. You know, I watched a police investigation show that had one of the actors who used to be on Doctor Who. He was also in a Marvel show. What's his name? He played Doctor Who though.
David Tennant.
Yes. I can't remember what the name of the show was. Christchurch or
Broadchurch? No, Broadchurch was the American one. Was Broadchurch the American one?
I don't know.
No,
I'm pretty sure it was BBC.
Broadchurch. Okay, Broadchurch might be the BBC because they did it. The thing is, they did Broadchurch in America with David Tennant in it. It's like the season 1 of this show and season 1 of Broadchurch. It's the exact same fucking show, and they both have David Tennant in it.
Yeah.
It's just that it takes place in America in this one. But it's like a shot, like basically the scenes are like flipped in reverse, like mirrored. But
I'm fairly certain I watched the one where they were on an island in the UK.
That's okay. I think that's I want to say Graceland, not Graceland. That's where fucking Elvis is. Either way, there's.
I don't know how we got off on that tangent.
David Tennant.
BBC. Bert Christchurch.
Oh, but I did want to mention this. The things that I was texting you guys about leading up to today, our recording day. The introduction of Lin-Manuel when he's singing with his fucking rabbit. He's in a hot air balloon singing with a rabbit.
Should he have been rapping?
I mean, I don't
you just hate rabbits.
I don't hate rabbits. They're cuddly. I was immediately, obviously, I had a thing.
Grace Point. Grace Point's the U.S. version of Broadchurch.
Gotcha. And then the other thing that I sent you guys that you said it was very much like Falcor vibes was Lyra riding the bear.
It's weird that she's
across the tundra.
And and there's that picture there, and she's riding on his neck, which is like what?
Yeah, traditionally I've been very scared of bears. But now I kind of like bears, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're nice. They have deep voices. They can wear armor.
Right.
It's probably a better place to ride the bear, actually, is around the neck. Because, you'd get, kind of a spring action, so it wouldn't be as bouncy.
Boingy, boingy, boingy.
Okay, so next thing that I have written down here. Guys, can we get real for a second?
I wish we would.
Can we just call the alethiometer or whatever however you say it, what it is?
Alethiometer.
Alethiometer. There you go. See, it is a mouthful, though. You have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a special edition Legend of Zelda Game Boy Advance is what it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I messed up when saying that, and it ruined the joke, kind of. But,
no, I got what you were saying.
All right.
Like I refer to it all the time as the Golden Compass in the podcast because that's the fucking name of the movie.
Yeah, try to spell it. It's spelled different in my notes, like probably every single time.
Yeah. I think I spelled it correctly because I have closed captions.
Just wait until you get to the name of the knife. Jesus Christ.
I think they talked. Yeah, they were talking about it in the episode I was just watching.
Okay,
but I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stick in my brain, obviously.
It's because it's real subtle when you talk about it.
Subtle knife.
There you go.
Final thing that I wrote down was the reveal at the end of season 1.
Yeah,
was a very holy shit moment.
That was a fucking cool season finale.
Yeah. This is a show that is not afraid of murdering the most innocent of characters.
And James McAvoy does it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that leads me to the question I was going to ask you guys is, okay, so we can set season 2 aside for a second, but just based on season
Put it
1,
over here with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, exactly. Besides the elders who are part of the sort of gypsy characters, what do we call those?
Nomads? What their actual name is?
The Egyptians. Besides Egyptians, which elder characters on the show can we say are good? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like every person that they run into is very bad. Mm-hmm. And now, including James McAvoy's character. Yeah. And it's like, at the end of it, I'm like, who the fuck do I root for that's over, like, 15 or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
You don't?
The witches. Yeah. The witches, they're like 300 years old.
Well, but the witches really come more into play in season 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was kind of aghast by that final episode. I loved it, but at the same time, I'm like, holy shit, you know? So anyway, that's where I was at the end of season 1. I do like season 2. I feel like it's not quite as strong as season 1 so far. I'm only halfway through. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more involvement with Snake Man. Yeah, and I guess I'm not as interested in the priest storyline with Monkey Lady.
That was my least favorite, storyline. Really,
it's fine.
I'm like, the Magisterium again. Here we go.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting the job done, but it's really just to give those characters something to do. It seems like while the really important shit is happening over here.
Yeah.
And for the listener, I'm motioning on the other side of the microphone.
Yeah, the side opposite Lin-Manuel Miranda.
So that's all I got on this show. If you guys have anything,
I don't have anything to add that wouldn't spoil it for you, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm very happy that I took the show on and that you guys even wanted a podcast. That's basically the main reason why I'm like, I should probably watch this.
I was surprised because I saw I was looking at our numbers, our podcast download numbers for
the numbers.
Yeah, for His Dark Materials, because I figured for sure they would be one of the lower because we do seasons of different shows. Some shows get more downloads than, or some seasons we cover, or some shows we cover get more downloads than others. Mm-hmm. And I thought His Dark Materials would be pretty low. I figured it'd be a pretty niche show. But our numbers for this final season have been pretty strong out of the gate.
That's surprising because I would have thought the same thing.
I thought for sure.
You said this final season it's not the final season, is it?
This is the last season.
Season 3 is it?
Really?
Yeah, the show's done.
You guys are blowing my mind.
That's what I thought. I didn't know that either.
See, that goes back to what I was talking about. BBC will fucking end shows.
Well, it's a trilogy of books, and they finished the trilogy.
See, I didn't even know that. I guess you can imagine they'd be based on books, fantasy books, but
well, you know, it's His Dark. The first season is the Golden Compass.
Okay, I've never seen the Golden Compass.
Okay,
yeah, they should have called it the Game Boy Advance. Legend
of
Zelda.
It's the 3 books, right? So the first one, the first book, right,
is the first. Yeah, each season is one of the books for the most part.
Okay,
the Golden Compass actually isn't even the complete first book. It ends before the kid gets disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, spoilers!
Yeah, spoilers if you haven't seen the Golden Compass.
See, I sort of pulled back a little bit whenever I said that. Mm-hmm. I said they killed innocent characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but. Yeah, this fuck it. He's disintegrated. He's never coming back.
I don't know a lot of people that were covering it, because I still listen to other podcasts that cover shows too. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a single show covering it. It was hard for me to find one.
There was 3 shows that I was listening to in season 2 that were covering it, and some of them were that was the show that they covered. It was The Authority or something like that. It was one of Slate's podcasts and stuff. They didn't come back for season 3. And it's man, that's surprising. So,
but numbers for this were good.
It was actually higher than our Westworld numbers.
Really? What about season to season? Did it go up?
I don't, because I switched podcast hosts. I don't remember what the numbers were for season 2. They were relatively low to start, and then it picked up after the season was over. Mm-hmm. Westworld would usually do the same thing, but it's and
then maybe as you're leading up to the new season, people are listening to the other ones.
Yeah, that also happens. So
that's also true.
Yeah, it's also true. We had good numbers for His Dark Materials this season so far, and we've just we just dropped the last episode yesterday. It hasn't come out on YouTube yet. I haven't had time to YouTube.
Well, you guys can expect 1 extra listen for every episode coming soon.
Yay. I like all the listens.
It'll be me. That's the 1 listen.
Well, Mike, do you want to guess what? I forgot to put this stat in, but I know it off the top of my head. Do you know what our highest downloaded episode is this year?
Oh, just audio only?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
I don't know. The episode 8 of Westworld?
It is not.
Episode 7 of Westworld?
No.
6 of Westworld?
Nope.
Well, you did say his Dark Materials did good, but I'm going to go House of the Dragon, episode 9.
House of the Dragon, episode 1.
Wow.
And it is not even close. The
Holy
numbers. It is. It's like 4 times higher than any other episode.
Dang.
So a lot of people tuned in. A lot of people decided that show was not for them.
That's unfortunate. That's kind of like, oh, all right.
We're a very acquired taste. Yeah. Like some people, I think when people, it's a House of the Dragon podcast, they're going to give us all the fucking details about stuff. They're going to talk about the houses and shit like that. We're not. We're talking about dicks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to re-listen to that episode because I know I was really into that first episode too. Like I like that first episode a lot, but
I didn't take any notes on the show because I haven't seen it. I didn't even bother. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. It drops off too.
You know, I think the end of Game of Thrones really left a significantly bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, my thing is like, aside from like when I think about the last season of Game of Thrones, I don't have the negative feelings that everybody else has. Like I was just definitely disappointed. Mm-hmm. But as far as like the actual ending of the show, it's like, it's about as good as I could have hoped for considering.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was a rush to the ending of that last season. But as far as it goes, I would still rewatch the last season of Game of Thrones.
See, and I remember saying that in my Chris Naes minutes, or when I was doing them for the last season or maybe the season before, and I got a little bit of pushback from you guys for saying that like it feels like we're reaching these places a little too quickly. You know what I mean? We have 2 episodes left. Mm-hmm. The Night King shit is already done with, and we're I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For the rest of this, what's gonna happen? You know, and I was really disappointed for the last couple, at least the last couple, maybe last 3,
because it does feel like with they have the long night is over, so now they have to deal with Cersei again. That feels like Return of the King.
Yeah,
like okay, now we're gonna go deal with Saruman after we've killed Sauron. It's like fuck.
But let's talk about this show. The new
House of the Dragon.
Yeah. What how do you guys feel about that show? Because I haven't heard the podcast or watched the show. So.
We really enjoyed it up until the time jump.
Okay.
And then I think we both thought it like fell off really quickly, and it was a lot of rushing to get to certain. Basically, all of season 1 just feels like a build up for season 2, and there is no reason to rewatch season 1.
Yeah, like
they time jump at the end of the season.
There's multiple time jumps but the biggest one is between episodes 5 and 6.
Are we doing backwards or forwards in time? Okay.
Yeah, and it was like I don't know how I feel about that season. Like it's not bad, but I'm kind of upset that I have to watch that whole season to get to season 2.
Yeah, they should have started. They should have started the show at like episode 8 of this season. And it's one of the things. The acting is fucking great. Everybody is an amazing actor in this. It's just like the pacing is fucking weird, man. And it just a lot of things just don't make sense. It's like, why would this character do this? It's like, especially if you're doing time jumps, it's like these characters don't progress as people in between these years that they just get older, and some of them don't even get older.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay invested in a show that you don't feel like is telling the story correctly.
It's like, we're going to get a little bit of investment in this character, and then you don't have to be invested in this character anymore.
And I do think season 2 will be a lot better than season 1. At least that's what I'm expecting. You know, like they established all these characters, and so they can kind of move on with the story, I guess.
Well, you better stay hopeful. You better stay hopeful because you're watching it.
Yeah, we're invested in the Game of Thrones universe because that's our bread and butter.
Unless they cancel it.
Have
they started filming that already?
I think it's supposed to go into. I think they're supposed to start production in the spring of this year,
or
of 2023.
Is that an Amazon show? What is that show?
HBO.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh. That's right. I was thinking of Rings of Power.
That's also. I don't think that's coming back next year either. So
It didn't get good reviews.
I
watched probably 4 episodes of it, and I didn't watch the rest of the season, so I guess I was lukewarm on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
We really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. It was just a lot of fun to watch.
You know what I was doing?
And it really picks up after like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I found myself more interested in the scenes with action and less interested in the scenes with dialogue between characters.
Well, the action starts after where you stop.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll pick it back up.
I do. I think it's worth a while. Like if you liked Lord of the Rings, like the movies, there's no real reason you wouldn't like the show.
Sure, yeah.
And if you even tolerated the Hobbit trilogy, then you should like the show.
I'm gonna assume it's a lot of the same production crew. I don't know that for a fact.
No, it's like Peter Jackson has nothing to do with it.
Really?
Yeah. He said that, which is surprising.
That's a bold move of them.
Yeah, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays out.
Turns out not great so far.
I think people. It was a lot of Tolkien diehards that didn't.
That were bitching about it.
Yeah, and it's like one of the things. It's like, well,
yeah, really, anybody I've talked to, like, they've all said they pretty much liked it.
Good. And like I said, like I liked it to a point, but it didn't quite like sell me completely.
It's Lord of the Rings. It's fucking slow.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't like even the books are slow.
Yeah.
It took me like 4 attempts to even read Fellowship of the Ring. Mm-hmm. Fellowship of the Ring is fucking boring. And even the first half of the Two Towers is pretty fucking boring.
Are you reading it and it's just like they're walking.
It's pretty much that, and then every chapter of Fellowship of the Ring, there's 2 fucking songs on it. If you don't like fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda singing to a rabbit, you definitely don't give a shit about these songs that have nothing to do with the plot.
Well, yeah, he's expansive in the world, so he's it goes way beyond the movies, dude. They're talking about family lineages and all kind. He's talking about all kinds of stuff like that.
I mean, have you guys read Lord of the Rings?
No.
Many years ago, I did once. Yes.
The fucking the thing that drives me nuts is that all the action happens off screen for the most part. Because there's that big battle where Boromir dies. That happens off screen in the book. It's like, oh, by the way, Boromir's dead, but I spent fucking 3 pages talking about this goddamn waterfall.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no,
that's insane.
Yeah,
it's got to be frustrating. I haven't read them in many years, so yeah, I don't have
I read them
a clear
in like
picture of them. But.
It was like 2011 or something when I was finally able to get through it.
You hate read them?
I did. Not as much as I hate read the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Goddamn, the Wheel of Time. So that is, you want to talk about some overrated bullshit.
Well,
fucking 14 books that could be done in 5.
Well, you talk about the books Wheel of Time. Talk about the real Wheel of Time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Jesus,
just keeps going.
Fucking back hurts.
You want to talk about the show Wheel of Time? Ugh.
Yeah, that's awful. I don't think I watched like, or wait, is a movie or show?
It's a
right? Show, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I probably only watched 1 episode. And I was
well,
like,
should we talk about
awful.
some stuff that we did like?
We can.
That's not things that were covered on podcasts and
All
stuff.
right.
We absolutely should.
How much time do we got for this?
We got as much time as we want. Like, who gives a shit?
All right, fuck.
It's a podcast. People can cut out what they want.
Listener, 15 second forward. Sorry. 15 second forward if you don't like it.
Yeah. And several times.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now. Now we be quiet for a little bit so they don't miss anything.
I fooled you.
So who wants to take the lead? Dude, should we go in a circle of things?
Let's do movies first.
Movies, okay.
And then we'll do television. And then if you want, we can do music, because I got some music stuff. But
shit, did I even write movies? I actually have a list of movies somewhere on my phone.
I can tell you this. I was trying to go through, like, how many movies did I see that came out in 2022?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
4. I've watched 4 movies that came out.
Hope they were good.
Some of them were not.
I actually went to lists of movies that came out like week to week and tried to pin down exactly which ones I saw and which ones were horribly bad and which ones I actually liked a lot. So, who wants to go first? Should we do circle on this, or how do we do this?
Go whatever.
Or random. Okay,
I don't
well
have any
I'll
notes
just
or
go
anything,
first.
so go ahead.
Did either of you guys see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Not yet.
Highly recommend.
I hear it's amazing.
Yes, one of my favorite movies of the year. Maybe even longer than that. Just great. Don't want to get into spoilers or anything.
Sure.
But great cast and truly original storytelling. And you don't know where this movie is going once you get in.
It's going everywhere all at once, right?
And everything is going with it. Should I just go down my list?
Yeah, let's do a top 5 or something.
Mad God. I just rewatched this again last night. I don't know if you guys saw this.
I'm not familiar with it.
Phil Tippett was one of the heads of the Star Wars, the original series, Star Wars Creature Shops. Okay, he helped create Jabba. He helped create the AT Walkers.
AT-ATs, yeah.
Yeah, he's basically a genius. But since
he made the robot for RoboCop,
he did. He did that. All basically stop motion. He was integral in all of that.
Apparently, there's like a really cool coffee table book with like his stuff in it that came out this year.
Well, he worked on this movie Mad God for 30 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he basically would enlist his students in whatever class he was teaching, or he would get interns to come to his workshop and work with him or whatever. There's a giant list of them at the end of the movie, but the movie kind of doesn't. It's all stop motion and then some real people acting in it a little bit, but there's really no dialogue in it, and it's sort of not. It doesn't have a story really, but it's a visual feast. It's fucking amazing. I cannot, and I just posted this yesterday, but I seriously can. It's a fucking crime that this movie did not get even nominated for an Oscar. It's that good. So put it at the top of your list. It's on Shudder right now, but you can get a Blu-ray or DVD if you go to his website.
Okay.
Mad God. Prey. Did we watch Prey?
I watched it.
The Predator.
I have not seen it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I put it third in the group of Predator movies as far as stuff I enjoyed. But Amber Midthunder is the lead in that, and she is great in it. And they didn't try to just redo Predator again. It's like it's kind of its own thing. You know?
Yeah, it does feel like
Okay, let's narrow it down here. Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I have not seen it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I still haven't. I forgot about watching it. I started watching it,
guys,
and I
this
only got a
movie
few
is
minutes
fucking
in.
awesome. It's hilarious. I promise you, it is not what you think it is. It goes to really, really strange places.
Oh, I assumed.
Weird, maybe.
That's why I stopped watching it, because I'm like, I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm gonna have to be in the mood for this. I don't know. I just expected something different.
You actually expected it to be the Al Yankovic story?
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting what it was. But yeah.
I feel like the trailer definitely gives away the fact that this is not.
I don't think I even saw the trailer.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see anything for it.
Evan Rachel Wood's Madonna in it.
Yes.
100% she is. She's in a lot of it too.
Great. I love Evan Rachel Wood. She's the only reason I watch Westworld.
Yep. She's great in this movie. The ending is so fucking perfect. Wait, dude, you guys text me as soon as you watch this movie, please. Just tell me what your first initial thoughts after it's over. Because God, what a fucking great movie. And then a weird one that nobody really expects to be on my list, but the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that they did this year. I think it was on the Disney streaming or whatever, but they kind of incorporate a lot of characters from different platforms or I don't know what you call it, but it's just a lot of fun, and it sort of places them in today's world and what Chip and Dale will be doing if their careers continued for 30 years. We didn't see them, and now we're reconnecting with them. You know.
Did they get into drugs and then?
No, there's a whole adventure though. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty great.
They almost lost it all. It's fucking behind the music.
Got divorced.
Seth Rogen
doesn't pay attention to his kids.
Seth Rogen is in it, and he plays. Okay, so a lot of this movie is making fun of other properties within sort of Disney's purview.
Sure,
but damn it, what the fuck is it? Well, okay, there's a digitally animated movie from the early 2000s that's like a Viking story. I can't remember the name of it, but in the movie his eyes look weird. They hadn't nailed the animation of that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like the whole movie, he's running around looking like an idiot, kind of, but he's supposed to be like the main character. God, I wish I could remember, but
it's a Disney movie.
It's like within Disney or MGM or all the stuff they own.
Oh,
they
well,
can
that's
pull
everything
characters.
now. So,
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, you guys should definitely watch it. I know it's not like the first thing that you would think to go and watch, but it's very entertaining.
Okay.
Yep. So those are my 5.
All right.
Yeah.
I can do my 5, which is actually only 4. Actually, no. Technically, I did watch the Blue's Clues and You movie where where they go to New York City to audition for a Broadway show. So that would be at the bottom of my list. Okay. But it's not bad. It's cute. So I've only seen.
Is Steve in it?
Steve is in it.
The original Steve.
The original. Well, there is only one Steve. That Steve and Joe is in it.
See, I thought that they just renamed a new guy Steve.
No,
like they brought in new Steve.
No. It's so Steve is the original guy, and then his brother Joe takes over when Steve goes to college, and then Josh is the new guy who is Steve and Joe's cousin.
How do you know all this? I guess it's
Thea loves Blue's Clues. My daughter loves Blues Clues. I have to edit that because I don't want her name on there. So the only other 4 movies I've seen. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, okay.
That'd be one of mine because I haven't seen a lot of movies either.
I saw it.
That is on the bottom of my list because it is not a great movie.
Nope.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't think it was great, but I liked it.
It's probably my second least favorite Thor movie.
Korg is one of my favorites from the Thor movies, and he's in it a lot.
He's in it too much.
Yeah. See, I really liked him in the first one he was in, though.
Mm-hmm. Ragnarok, yeah. Ragnarok's the best Thor movie. And this one they tried to do too much of the Ragnarok comedy in it, and it kind of made the movie dumb. Yeah. Especially when you have such a serious villain.
Yeah. My daughter calls me Fat Thor. We were watching like Lego Masters, and they were doing this Marvel themed episode, and she's like, "Oh, what character you think you'd be in Marvel?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe it'd be like Iron Man or something, I don't know, invent stuff." And she's like, "I think you'd probably be more like Fat Thor." I'm like, "What?" That's hilarious.
That's pretty clever.
She's like, "Oh, because you're drinking beer." Yeah.
She nailed it.
She did.
So, in my number 3 spot, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It could be in my number 2 spot. I really enjoyed the movie. Man, it gets fucking weird in the third act.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a completely different movie once the third act hits.
Directed by the guy from Evil Dead.
Yeah, Sam Raimi.
Yep.
It gets the full Raimi in the third act.
I believe Bruce is in it.
He is.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was actually expecting it to have more to do with the stuff that they introduced in Spider-Man No Way Home, but it doesn't.
That's what I was expecting too. Like, I liked Thor better than the Doctor Strange movie myself.
I liked the Doctor Strange movie because of mainly just because of that one scene where there's the different multiverse characters in it, and we see the Captain Britain and Mr. Fantastic. And
I gotta say, out of Marvel recently, Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, and Doctor Strange, all kind of just okay.
Yeah, I've not seen Wakanda Forever yet.
I haven't.
I just saw it in theaters, and I fell asleep, and then I had to watch it at home after.
Is it? Oh, so it's available on Disney Plus already?
No,
I don't think
it will be soon.
Okay,
so that's the only reason I'm like, because I was going to go to the theater and watch it, but I heard some things about it that it wasn't all that good. But I would have still went and watched it, but then I found out it's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's long.
So hearing that it's
not as
potentially might not be that good, and it's that long.
It's like it's like 2.25, 2.5.
Plus. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not quite 3, but
like 2 hours 40 minutes or something.
It's it's not a short movie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's no Avatar 2.
Oh god, dude! As soon as I was going to the movies, that's why when I went to see Wakanda Forever or whatever, we looked at the list of movies, and saw basically what I look at now is how long are movies. And I will choose from the ones that are not as long. You know what I mean? And we had very little to choose from, so we went to see Wakanda Forever. But yeah, I really think anything that's coming out of Marvel right now is just sort of okay. Yeah. The TV, what was the TV show that I liked from them this year? I can't remember.
Well, we'll get into TV.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
my number 2, Avatar 2. No. Glass Onion. We just watched this.
Okay. Haven't seen it yet.
I started watching that last night.
And
I only got about 15 minutes in.
The only reason it's in my number 2 is because I've watched so few movies this year. It is not as good as Knives Out, but it's enjoyable. But I thought Knives Out was a better like murder mystery aspect of it. But Glass Onion is still enjoyable, especially if you can get past or enjoy Daniel Craig's Foghorn Leghorn.
Right.
And then my number 1 movie for the year.
Oh, I know what it is.
Do you?
I bet. Maverick.
It is Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, shit.
That's my top one for sure.
Top 1 Maverick.
Love that movie.
It was actually a really good movie. And this is somebody who doesn't really give a shit about Top Gun growing up, but Top Gun Maverick was actually a really enjoyable
It was fun. It was like, I miss just having because it's just a simple action movie. Like, there's no bullshit in it. And like, they did such a great job with the action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just fun. It was just a really fun action movie to watch.
Yeah, I didn't. I somehow did not see it in theaters, so I think there's a little bit that I lost from it from not going to see it in a room, you know. But I did watch it at home, and I liked it. I definitely would recommend it. And I also hadn't watched the original Top Gun probably in like 20 years.
Yeah.
And that gave me reason to rewatch that, and I super enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise is his most Tom Cruisey ever in the new Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
And it's great. I'm all for it.
He's so cruisy. He's on cruise control.
I actually sort of like, I'm not saying I avoid his movies now, but they're just not as good as they used to be. Like I don't.
Everybody
even
says each Mission Impossible gets better.
See, and I don't really fuck with the Mission Impossibles that much. Like I
haven't seen any of them past the second one.
I've seen all of them.
I think we're the only.
Good.
I'm pretty sure we're the only 2 that haven't.
Yeah.
Like I stopped at 2.
Yeah, because it was like, what the fuck is going on with people taking their face off all the time?
And what's her name was in Westworld. She's also in that movie.
Yeah.
What's her name? She plays the female lead in
Tandaway Newton.
Tandaway Newton. But Top Gun.
Yep, is my number 1. I just remembered while we were talking that I did see A Christmas Story Christmas last week.
I still haven't watched that, and I've heard good things about it.
It is okay. It's way better than A Christmas Story 2, if you've seen that one.
No, I have not.
God,
and I don't want to.
That is shit.
Yeah.
Tim, I'll definitely say the new Christmas Story has it's better than it has any right to be.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Because when they try to make a new movie, like they're up against like a Top Gun Maverick situation. You know what I'm saying? Like Christmas Story is like as big a movie as Top Gun, kind of.
Probably, yeah. It is definitely not
in people's minds, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, for Christ's sake, it plays 24 hours a day on TNT over the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Or it used to.
It is definitely not as good as A Christmas Story.
Right.
It doesn't have the same kind of, I guess, magic that A Christmas Story has.
Yeah, but
for
his Flights of Fancy, though, it has the same feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they kind of nailed the format anyway.
And there is a nostalgia factor that it touches on very well. They got back almost everybody except for the mother. They had to recast the mother because the mother retired completely from acting.
But don't spoil some of them.
I won't,
because Mike needs to watch it still. But because there's a specific one that is a good payoff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's right, Mike. Do you have anything to add to movies? We already know your top 1.
No, I don't actually, because you named basically movies that I saw. I did see Avatar 2.
Oh, okay. Thoughts?
I think it's worth watching in the theater only because, like, visually, It's really great.
Yeah.
The story, I was pretty disappointed about.
So Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
White savior stuff going on.
Well, he's not white anymore.
No.
He died, so he is blue all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the kid, though, right? Doesn't he has like dreads? Or there's a kid.
He has multiple kids.
I'm speaking out of turn. I'm not fully versed on the
This guy
Avatar
fucks
universe.
all the time.
Yeah.
You remember when Sam Worthington? I mean, he's connecting hair tails constantly.
I mean, just saying that is like
This ain't your dad's Avatar. This Navi fucks.
This ain't the Avatar you grew up with.
But it's super long. It's way too long.
As long as the Navi tail?
Yeah, it's longer. There's so much shit that could have been cut out of this movie.
Big blue cock.
Here's a question. Here's a question. Does Avatar 2 connect with Avatar 1 like a Navi's tail?
It does.
Great.
Unfortunately, too much in my opinion.
Isn't Avatar 1 super fucking long too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's long.
I've only seen it in the theater because I never saw the point of seeing it not in 3D.
Well, good news. It's halfway to making back its budget. So
the crazy thing is they've already, like, because of how James Cameron wants to tell his stories, they've already shot most of 3 and 4.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, that is wild. And then, like, somebody said, it's like, yeah, I recorded my parts from Avatar 2 like 4 years ago. I thought it came out and flopped. It's like,
you got to think a lot of that is his money that he put into it, though, right? I would assume so.
Yeah.
Because, like, what studio is actually going to greenlight that many movies at once?
That's the crazy
if it's not mostly his money.
You have to get, like, a studio really has to be on board with things. That's why I always get pissed off anytime somebody does, we're going to do Dune. It's like, you're not going to do Dune correctly because it's
What are you going to do?
Can you do the Dune?
I cannot.
What else did I see? Jurassic World. Saw that new one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty awful in my opinion, but my daughter liked it. So
It's dinosaurs.
Hey.
I've only seen the first Jurassic World, and it's
The second. This is the third one, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Second one was okay.
The only reason I wanted to see it was because it's got Jeff Goldblum in it.
Ah, yes.
It's like, yeah, if we want to revisit the original Jurassic Park,
What about Sam Neill?
I forgot he was in it. Yeah,
He is in it? What about...
he is in the third one.
What about, what's her name?
Laura Dern.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know if she's in it
We all know.
because aren't they divorced in the third Jurassic Park movie?
Maybe. See, I'm not as well versed in the Jurassic Park.
I've only seen it once, but
I think so.
But they're divorced at the time of the third movie that has William H. Macy in it.
Honestly, the OG was really the only one that was ever my jam.
Wait,
Yeah.
those two never even got together, right?
No, they got married. They were married. Well, I don't know if they got married, but they were a couple. And then at the time of the third movie, they are divorced or they are separated.
Oh, okay.
Got to keep them separated.
Yeah, you got to.
Is there any other movies, Mike?
Not really. Nothing that kind of really worth mentioning because most of it's stuff I wasn't really a big fan of.
So we'll get into television. I have watched many television series, but at the same time, I have not watched every television series that maybe I should have, and some that I shouldn't have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a top 5, and then I just have 2 honorable mentions.
Let's go.
My 2 honorable mentions are Moon Knight and Kenobi.
Okay.
I
did see Kenobi.
Moon Knight would be on my list. I really liked that.
I really like Moon Knight, but some things rank higher, so it's not technically on my list. My number 5 is Severance.
Great. Loved it. That's on my list, too.
It probably would have been higher if it was a one and done series, because it's like, where the fuck are they going to go with this? Because I thought, because I didn't know there was going to be a season 2. I thought, like, this is the show. Mm-hmm. So when they're like, we're on the last episode already, how are they going to wrap this up? It's like, oh, they're not. I see.
What platform is that on?
That is Apple TV.
Okay, that's why I haven't seen it.
It's
that's the only like streaming service I don't have.
The finale was actually very good, though. The way they left it off, I felt like that's a pretty intriguing storyline moving forward. So I'm excited for it. And I did not see that show coming. You know what I'm saying? That's a Ben Stiller project. Mm-hmm. And who's the lead actor? What's his name? I can't remember.
The guy from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he's been involved in Comedy Bang Bang and stuff over the years.
Goddamn, what is his name?
He was on you two talking you two to me or something like that.
And not Andy Daly.
It's okay. Everybody knows. Severance.
Andrew Scott?
Scott. It is Scott, but I don't know what his first name is.
Scott Farkas?
Scott. Scott Baio?
I don't think anybody's hiring him anymore.
Anyway, next on the list.
Number 4 is His Dark Materials.
Very good.
Number 3 is Rings of Power, because I think Rings of Power was actually very enjoyable if you like the pacing of Lord of the Rings stuff. Number 2, Star Trek Strange New Worlds was fantastic. Very enjoyable Star Trek series.
Is that the Picard series or no?
No,
I was going to say, well, Picard is the Picard series.
That's right. Yeah, Picard does not make my list.
Yeah.
I was glad that I watched it. It is not great. Picard is very slow. I am looking forward to the 3rd season of Picard, though.
But what's this other show?
Star Trek Strange New Worlds is actually the Enterprise before Kirk is captain.
Okay.
So it's basically a spin-off of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. That captain becomes captain of the Enterprise, and we are introduced to Spock in Star Trek Discovery Season 2. So it's some of the original crew members, but not all of them because they're not all there yet. But it does have Spock and Uhura in it.
Yeah, that show's good. I watched that. It's
a very enjoyable episodic. It feels like real Star Trek.
Yeah.
And other Star Trek shows do not feel like Star Trek. And then my top series for the year is The Sandman.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, I haven't watched any of that.
The Sandman is very good.
Yeah.
The Sandman I started, I didn't finish.
I very much enjoyed it.
Where is that streaming?
That is Netflix.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot of shows that I started and have not finished. Miss Marvel and She-Hulk are 2 of those.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, that was kind of a disaster in my opinion.
And then I have not seen Andor, even though I hear it's amazing, but I hate Rogue One so much that I just don't care about a prequel to Rogue One.
I thought you liked it.
No, I did not like Rogue One.
That's weird. I thought I remembered you liking it as well, but yeah, we did talk about it.
Yeah,
it is in the archives,
and I bashed it.
Yeah.
Which one do you like? Is there one? I thought there was like a spinoff that you really liked.
I really like Solo.
Okay.
That was what it was.
I thought Solo was the most. Solo felt more like Star Wars than any other Star Wars movie that's come out this century.
Mike and I did a podcast with a guy that I know. We that's in the archive somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to watch Sandman though.
And that's my television series. Is Series Eyes.
Should I go?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's start with the disappointments.
Oh, was Expanse this year? Or was Expanse last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay.
I think.
I don't know. Haven't watched that.
All right.
What is it?
Expanse is a sci-fi show that got canceled by Sci-Fi and then picked up by Amazon.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's decent, but it was a little disappointing, the ending.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of disappointments,
yeah,
I was maybe the only person that stuck all the way through The Walking Dead to the end. And
okay,
fuck, it was terrible this year. It was so bad. There was very, very few moments where there was like high action stuff going on. Those are the only things we're watching. Everything else fucking terrible. They barely stuck to what the comic book storyline was, and even though they like did that, made efforts to do that, it still was very bad. So don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Nobody watch it, please.
If you have watched it, get mind wiped.
Yes, get therapy.
Forget that. Mike, when did you drop out of Walking Dead?
I think I dropped out in season 4, but then our friend Jimmy was like, "No, you got to pick it back up. Season 5 is really good."
Is that what Jimmy sounds like?
Yep. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in so long. I don't remember.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Then he's like, "Yeah, pick it up. It's really good." And then so I watched, I think, that season, and I felt the same.
Okay.
Like, and yeah, I don't
At
think
least
I watched
tried.
since. Yeah.
I dropped out literally the episode before they introduced Negan on screen.
Really?
So the last thing I saw, Daryl get shot in the face by Dwight, I think.
Okay.
Is that who it is?
I don't remember.
Whoever the guy that's getting cucked. And that's where it ends for me. Is as far as I know, Norman Reedus' character is dead. That's where the show ended for me. So I never saw Glenn get his head bashed in.
I'm not going to spoil it if anybody wants to know, but.
And then I saw the first season of Fear the Walking Dead, and I thought this show was goddamn terrible, and I never proceeded with that.
That show actually got better, but it's still probably passable. You know. One other disappointment I want to mention: the Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. Not even close to what the old show was. I actually went through this past year, maybe year and a half, and I've been watching all of the old Unsolved Mysteries. They are fascinating. The wackiest shit you've ever seen sometimes is on this show, but I absolutely love it. Robert Stack he does 12 seasons, and I'm on 11 now.
Is he dead now? Is that
he is dead, but I think he stopped doing the show before he died.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Who
hosts it now?
They've had a few.
Oh, okay.
But there's actually no host on the new ones. It's sort of set up differently.
Oh, that's
yeah. It's not even. It's like a whole different thing. They only focus on one story a show instead of the traditional. You know.
I'm not a huge Twilight Zone fan, but I do like Jordan Peele as the host of the new Twilight Zones.
You apparently were one of the only people because that show did very badly. But I actually enjoyed it. I watched all of them. So
I really like the episode where they're actually filming the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, right. Very meta.
Where the guy what the fuck is that guy's name? The original guy.
Why am I blanking on this too? This is what happens.
Yeah, the original, but they CG the original guy in. It's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Those are my only disappointments. Quickly, I want to mention stuff I didn't watch, but I want to.
Oh, my disappointments are House of the Dragon and West
Stuff I didn't watch, but want to. I want to finish out Lord of the Rings, like we talked about. White Lotus, I've heard really good things about.
I think Sarah watched that.
Okay. Have you watched any of it? No.
I heard good things about it too.
There's a series about the making of The Godfather called The Offer that I really want to watch. I've read a book or two about that, and the first two are pretty great movies, so I'm interested. Apparently that series is pretty good. And then my top shows of the year, we've already mentioned a couple of them, but I'll go through those quickly. Severance. These are not in any particular order, but Severance is great. We already talked about it. So you'd also already mentioned Andor. I gotta say, Andor is one of my favorite Star Wars things that they've made in the post old series time.
Adam Scott, that's the guy.
Adam Scott. I knew Scott was in there somewhere. Exactly.
Frank Scott Parkway.
Andor is a very good Star Wars watch. I like the stuff that goes back to the original sort of aesthetic, where you're talking about the stormtroopers look like they did in the original 3 movies, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? That makes me want to watch it more. So anyway, I liked it. I think even though you hate Rogue One, okay, maybe you shouldn't be the person to watch it. But Mike, you should watch it.
I'm about, I think, 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
3 or 4 episodes in.
Yeah. Peacemaker, starring John Cena. It's a DC property.
I haven't seen it because I can't see it.
Well, what do you mean?
That's a John Cena joke.
Oh, I thought like you don't have that streaming thing, or so it's something like that. Got it. Great show. Yeah, exactly. Very funny show. Totally took me by surprise. Didn't expect to like a show with John Cena as much as I did. But it's really fantastic. Very funny. And then of the new stuff, Wednesday on Netflix.
Sarah's seen that. Sarah watches a lot of stuff.
Very, very good show.
Yeah, it's fun.
The dynamic between her and her roommate on the show, particularly, like, I made me laugh almost every time their interactions with each other, because you got the two ends of the spectrum. The very bubbly, right, and then Wednesday, who's as dark as possible. And want to kill.
And Christina Ricci's in it.
Yes, Christina Ricci is great in it.
And I didn't even know that was her.
Ends up having a bigger role. You didn't know that was her.
I didn't recognize her at first.
She has red hair, but
yeah, and glasses.
She okay.
Superman would have totally got me.
Well, she's she ends up with a bigger role than I expected her to have.
Man, Henry Cavill's not going to be Superman or The Witcher.
Let's see. But Wednesday's great. Everybody should at least give it a chance. My brother and I have been going back through Batman the Animated Series.
It's great.
It's kind of a perfect show. I really see no faults in when I rewatch it, even this many years later. Mm-hmm. It's fucking great. There's nothing wrong with that show whatsoever. They should keep playing it on TV to this day, but they don't. You could probably stream it somewhere, I'm assuming.
I mean, I have the full DVD set of it.
Me too.
It's on HBO Max, I believe.
HBO Max, that's where it is. Until they decide, fuck it, let's get rid of it.
Oh, shit, if it's in high def and it's better than my DVDs, I need to...
Well, what's great, my setup at home only allows for surround sound if I have DVDs or VHS. Oh. Otherwise, no surround sound.
There you go.
So that's just the way it's set up. I can't figure it out the rest of the way, so I'm not even going to try.
You need somebody to come in and...
I have a what do you call it?
Stereo receiver?
Well, just a speaker that sits on front.
Oh, soundbar?
Soundbar. And that sounds great.
Yeah.
And that works with the Blu-rays and works with the streaming, but... You know, it's just more fun to fucking pop shit in, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
I like to dock tails.
And also, my brother has never seen any of the Batman animated series.
Oh.
So he's just in heaven, right?
Yeah.
So yes, and then I guess the only things I have left listed here are things I'm looking forward to. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys have any.
We'll do that. We'll do that later.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I got for my TV stuff.
All right. The only thing I would maybe add is Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah.
Season ending.
I don't know how I forgot about that, but yeah.
The Boys, I think, had a new season this year, right?
Yes. The Boys is great.
That's about it. I know there's other TV shows that I really enjoyed this year, but I just can't think of any. I should have did some more research.
Note taking.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay, though. You filled in some blanks there that were obvious ones.
I only saw a couple episodes of Lock and Key.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, I enjoyed that series. That was fun. I watched, like I said earlier, The Peripheral, but that was a little disappointing. Andor, I'm in the middle of watching. Yeah.
I want to see Andor on Endor.
Andor and Endor.
Oh, quickly, an anime that is not translated into English, but is you can watch it with English captions. Is called Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
If you just look up stream Chainsaw Man on your computer,
all right,
you can watch it for free on your computer or your device. That is technically illegal, but listen, I'm not going to tell anybody if you don't.
Go ahead and stream Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man is great. I don't normally keep up with the newer animes that are being aired currently, but Chainsaw Man is awesome. It's just a tad bit horny, not too much, just enough. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit of
horny. Incredibly violent and very funny.
All right.
Yeah. So those are the things I look for in an anime.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any music?
I have zero music because I barely even listen to music anymore.
Your fucking ass, I do.
Chris has got
so that'd be all you guys.
My list for music is actually too long, so let's lightning round.
Okay, I have a top three.
Go. Well, do your top three first.
All right. So these actually are in no particular order because it's hard for me to choose favorites. But All Seriousness Aside by Tony M. Hall.
Oh, yes. Very good. That's on my list.
Is a great album. That is our...
Tony Hall, former collaborator with Chris Naes.
Yes. And one of the people that I recorded to get my degree with Chris Naes.
Yep. And he's also... he plays in St. Louis a lot with Nick Gussman and the Coyotes.
Tony, if for some reason you listen to this, I don't know why you would, but you've got to get your album on Bandcamp so I can buy it and not stream it on YouTube Music.
He's working on vinyl and stuff too.
Oh, I would love to get a vinyl.
Yeah.
And then Days and Nights by the band Sisser is my friend Melissa Powers' band. It is a fantastic album, and great. I did pre-order the.
You'll have to text that to me.
I will. It's very good. They're a great band, and she has an amazing voice. And then this album technically released in 2021, but it released on December 30th. So I'm counting it as...
That's fine, yeah.
Counting it as 2022. It's Memento Mori by the band Fireschwanz.
Nice.
So I've gotten very much into Fireschwanz and other German folk / power metal bands. And it's they've inspired me to learn German. And they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to watch.
Is that from some of the stuff that you've sent
yes.
us? Okay.
Yes, it's the guy that has the chain mail.
Yeah.
Very badass.
Yeah, they did a cover on this album on their deluxe version of Warriors of the World United, which is a Manowar cover, which is amazing. And literally, it hasn't come out yet, but they've released a couple songs. I think, let's see, today's the 29th. So literally tomorrow, they're releasing an album called Todsünden, which is German for, my pronunciation is bad, but it's pronunciation for, it translates to Deadly Sins. It's an album of just covers. And two of the covers that they have on there, they've done Gimme Gimme, which is an ABBA cover, which is hilarious, like the video. And it's actually a really good cover. But they're doing a cover of The Final Countdown, which I am super fucking excited for.
Well, that kind of fits.
Yeah. So I think that comes out tomorrow or the next day. So I'm very excited.
I would guess that their album title, Todsünden, would mean like a sun-tanning frog.
Well, Toad is dead or death, and I guess Sunden is sins or...
I was way off, but listen, I tried.
But yeah, most of their songs are in German, but they do English covers of stuff. They have that whatever that song by the Numa Kid.
I don't know that.
Maya.
Oh,
Maya.
Okay.
They do a cover of that, and it's hilarious. Like a lot of the songs on this Todsünden are things that like released on previous albums in deluxe versions.
I like a metal band that doesn't take themselves seriously because that is such a problem.
They
in metal.
super don't.
Yeah,
it's so good. I want to be. I've said it before. I want to be best friends with everybody in that band.
Also, I like that they release things at the end of the year because bands and labels really shy away from doing that for some reason. Like the whole last quarter sometimes will just be like a barren wasteland for releases. So that's cool. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, Fireschwanz. Listen to him.
Fireschwanz. Hey, that sounds like me and Mike. Anyway, go ahead.
It actually translates to fire tail. Schwanz is tail, not dick.
Well, but you've heard people say Schwanz as a...
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like Yiddish.
I think it is, yeah. I'm not Jewish. You wouldn't guess that, but I'm
yeah,
not
you're
Jewish.
totally circumcised.
See this? People automatically think Jew, even though I live in St. Louis.
He slapped his dick on the table and showed us his circumcised.
You couldn't hear it, but it was there. Mike, you said you had no music?
I don't. I do not.
I'll just lightning round these and people can look them up if they want to. Motor Sister. This is a Anthrax adjacent band.
Okay.
Scott Ian and his wife, who is Meatloaf's daughter. She's the vocalist and he's the guitarist in this band, and they're more of a rock and roll type band.
So she's Meatball?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Great band. Awesome. Just fucking straight up rocking. You know what I mean? No, not really metal. So I love that. Revocation is very technical heavy metal band. Definitely not going to be everybody's thing, but if you like that thing,
it's like math rock metal or something.
No, it's just it's death metal with melodies.
Oh, okay.
Basically, and he sings metally, but you can still understand what he's saying.
Okay,
you know what I mean. Let's see. Midnight is a band that I've really gotten into this year. They are pretty well Motorhead adjacent. Like if you're just looking for a band that sounds like Motorhead, this is the one.
Okay.
But they completely masked with like blackout mask and hood over their heads, so they look like they're death or they're working the gallows, that kind of stage outfit. But all three members of the band look like that, so nobody knows what they look like.
Okay.
But that aside, great band. Let's see. thinking what is worth mentioning. Bastard is a great death metal band from here in town.
Okay.
Also sort of Motorhead adjacent, but maybe a little bit heavier. More heavy metal sounding solos than rock and roll solos like Motorhead would do.
Okay.
Also Tony Hall.
Bastards.
Gotta mention Tony Hall, of course.
It's a great album.
Thorax is a band from here in town, and I actually worked with one of the guys on the drum tracks I did for my solo record. They were my drum tracks were originally for a band I was in called Tape History. Mm-hmm. Now I'm using them for my project, and this is the guy who I was in the studio with.
Okay.
And he plays guitar in this band, and they're sort of like a Nintendo heavy metal band.
So it's like 8-bit sounding?
Kind of, yeah. There's a synth guy, but there's also 3 guitarists on stage at all times.
Nice.
And they're doing 3-part harmonies almost exclusively.
That sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun, and they really fucking bring it hard.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that one out.
One of the best live shows I saw this year, and one of the only ones since, everything basically opened back up this year. Mm-hmm. Also, got to mention River Sharks. River Sharks is a project that I played drums on with Justin Poole and another guy named Zach.
Okay. And
it officially released the end of last year, but I'm going to count it as this year because really the stuff went fully live this year. It was sort of like a slow rollout.
All right.
But that's the last stuff I played on drums to this day. Yeah. So if you're looking, stream the last... I won't say the last forever, but... the last drum content that I have put out, it is called River Sharks, and I believe the album's called Episode 1. I should know that, but I'm pretty sure it's called Episode 1. It's on all your streaming things. And I can't leave without, again, plugging Wave Kings.
Yep.
I'm very proud that I was able to... progress far enough in my guitar playing, just far enough that I could sprinkle a little bit of stuff on top of what Dan very much is the guy who made those. And he was kind of like, you should do something on this. And I said, okay. And I sent him some stuff and he worked his studio magic and made it what it is. So Wave Kings, WAVKINGZ, and the songs are Toast and Gossip.
Cool.
Yeah. Shameless self-promotion.
There you go.
That's it for my music.
All right. So that's 2022 in a nutshell. Really long nutshell. Big nutshell.
What did I get in this show?
What about 2023, guys? What are we looking forward to?
I don't know what's even coming out. I'm assuming there's some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be some Star Wars,
yeah.
Some Marvel stuff.
Yeah, sure bet.
I think we might get a Loki season 2 next year.
Oh, we better.
That'd be good. What were you saying that's coming out on HBO Max?
Last of Us comes out in like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks.
And that's from a video game?
Yep.
Okay.
That's got Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey.
Star Wars.
You killed her. You murdered her.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones. 2 people.
He was actually in the Nicolas Cage movie that came out this year as well that nobody mentioned.
I haven't seen it yet. That's the one where he is Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and that looks so fucking funny.
It's... Maybe lower your expectations a little bit. It's funny, but it's not like the best thing in the world.
But is it like? But does the trailer do a good job of advertising what the movie is?
Yeah.
Then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, for sure. I had a couple things I wrote down. More Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have more of that. They just aired the last episode of the first season, so I don't actually know that we're getting more, but maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead Rise, the new Evil Dead movie, is coming out.
Oh.
Bruce is involved. He's not in it, I don't think. But there might be a surprise. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
And the Amazon animated series Invincible, which is based on a comic book that Jimmy and I absolutely adore, is going to have their second season this year.
I have seen Invincible. Invincible's good.
Invincible is great. So those are that's my only 3 things I had to look forward to.
Invincible is the shit.
The shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Loved it.
Shit. That's awesome. Can't wait.
I mean, you watched it thinking you're just going to get kind of like a superhero show, and then holy fucking shit, things get violent.
And it's great. Like,
Yeah,
it's surprisingly very, very good.
Yeah. The books, they're following the books very faithfully. There's a couple little things, you know, like the way they present the story, basically, how quickly things happen. But that's just, you're just moving from one genre to another, so you kind of have to. Medium, I should say, to another.
Yep.
You sort of have to shift it around a little bit.
Jason Mantzoukas, one of the voices of the characters in there.
Yep. I believe he was in something else where he played the voice of a penis. Oh yes, the Pam and Tommy. Is that what it's called? Or Tommy and Pam?
Maybe.
Jason Mantzoukas played the voice of Tommy Lee's penis in that show.
That sounds like something.
I didn't get that far in that show.
I watched it all. It was okay.
He's also the voice of a character in Star Trek Prodigy, which is a kid's show
Is that
on
right?
Nickelodeon.
Have you seen Lower Decks? Is that a good show?
Lower Decks is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, Lower Decks is really... I haven't seen
fun.
the latest season.
See, we thought we were done, but we're getting all of these other things.
I know.
Well,
At the very end.
a lot of it's just because I haven't seen it. Like, I've not seen the most recent season of Lower Decks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to watch it. I totally forgot all about it.
There's just so much fucking shit.
Yeah.
If I can be very vulgar in saying what things
I think you
are like,
can. I think this, if anywhere is the place for it, it's this place.
there's a lot of fucking shit to watch,
There's
guys.
so much shit. There's almost too much shit.
Yeah. Damn cunts putting out all that shit.
Right, cunts.
Speaking of shit, Halo was... No, I haven't watched Halo. I heard it was bad.
I kind of liked it, but I never played any of the video games.
Okay.
And the end was kind of, a little disappointing.
Okay, so let's get meta for a second.
Oh, but John Wick. Looking forward to the next John Wick.
If I do a quick little scroll here, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
Quantumania. Creed 3. There's the Indiana Jones that comes out.
Oh.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
Shazam.
I have. See, I avoid all trailers now.
Oh.
So, no.
Dungeons and Dragons.
What were you going to say about it?
Yeah, actually, it looks like it might be interesting.
What?
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah.
Don't care about that.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I do care about that.
I do care about that. I saw
Fast
the trailer
X.
in the theater.
Or Fast 10.
Didn't they already do Fast 10?
I don't know. It says Fast X. I'm just scrolling through.
Look, why are you bringing it down hard
I
on the
just
man?
thought
He's just reading his cell phone.
I just thought it already came out. I thought it came out like 3 years ago.
Well, you were wrong, okay?
I thought we were on...
And listen, don't make that his problem. That's your
I
problem.
thought we were on Final Fast and the Furious Fantasy 16 by now.
We have The Little Mermaid. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So looking forward to that.
So of these movies that you mentioned, I've seen 2 trailers.
The Flash. Sorry. Go ahead.
The Little Mermaid, I saw the trailer for that.
Okay.
The Spider-Man, saw the trailer for that. And then what was the other one? Anyway. I try to avoid all trailers because a lot of them they just spoil movies completely.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else?
Barbie. Yeah. The Marvels. I don't know what that is.
Marvels is a Marvel movie.
Captain Marvel follow-up?
it's the Captain Marvel follow-up.
There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out.
Oh, yeah. Seth Rogen is very excited about that. He's hyping it up a lot. I'm actually intrigued.
Is he in it, or is he just excited for it?
I don't think he's in it. I can't say that for sure, but he's directing or producing, maybe.
I'm just like,
he's fully invested in that.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Dune Part 2.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Dune Part 2 to see Dune Part 1.
What is The Hunger Games? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I thought that... What?
That is a long title.
I didn't know they were making more movies. Wonka? They're making a Wonka movie? Whatever.
Is it the prequel to Wonka?
Let's see. Paddington director Paul King is behind this Willy Wonka origin story that stars Chalamet.
Oh, the guy from Dune. Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf?
No, Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Is that it? Are we done?
Aquaman. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there's an Aquaman movie coming out?
Yeah.
Let's get
before
Aquaman
they cancel it?
and the Lost Kingdom.
Before they say, hey,
it's
none
under
of
the
these...
water. That's where it is.
Yeah. Before James Gunn says, let's get rid of all these characters.
Let's get meta for a second, guys. Let's go back to the very beginning of this podcast, which is actually the beginning of a second podcast.
Okay.
Is this version... is the one we got out today, the one that we finished just now, we're finishing it as I speak. is this version the better version, or is the old version that we are already in the middle of it, was that one going to be better than the one we just did? Is there any way to know?
Not without a knife to cut a hole through dimensions.
Very good. Tying it all back together to the things we do. I personally enjoyed this podcast, guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
What do we want to do with Watchers on the Couch in 2023?
I don't know what shows are coming out. Do we want to do?
Bring out the phone.
Do we want to do The Last of Us or?
I mean, I'm fine with doing The Last of Us. I think.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, like, that I learned from doing YouTube, like, and if you've noticed on YouTube that I have not done video for any of the historic material stuff. And that's because, like, making the videos for, like, Westworld, House of the Dragon, cutting clips, making shorts, blah, 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 that became another full-time job.
Yep.
And that's like...
It's hard.
Yeah, we grew a decent amount with it, but at the same time, I can't maintain that workload. So unless we get that Blue Apron money or something like that I can afford a crew to do the editing. Jesus. But, I mean, eventually I'd like to see Watchers on the Couch go back to doing multiple hosts and multiple shows. Mm-hmm. Requires people to be interested and to maintain a level of quality and production value and things like that. And since we don't make any money, it's like, hey, I'll pay you to do this show. I can't do that. So,
yeah, I did. Like, I think I don't know if I mentioned this on this podcast earlier.
In this dimension.
Yeah, but Debbie and I almost got that podcast restarted back up. We were so close. Like, a couple of different times. We were really close.
Did you forget to record? Was that your problem?
No, we didn't even, like, I've seen her a couple of times and we just hung out and watched a movie or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just life sprung up. Almost literally, actually. She had another kid. But it's just you make plans and then other things quickly spring up and get in the way of whatever you plan. Yeah. So, and not the least of which, my work schedule completely changed this year. Mm-hmm. Or the past year and a half anyway, and it just made things way more complicated, right? And I am kind of staunch about wanting to do the podcast in person also. Mm-hmm. I don't think that she would even be interested in doing it over Zoom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. So I don't know. I would like to do it. Will it happen? Still don't know.
Still don't know. It's in the all paths lead to the beam, or all beams lead to the whatever.
There's plenty of content for Stephen King stuff too. I mean, there's a lot. Maybe not TV shows like all the time, but like
there's movies.
we could talk about books. Whatever.
Yeah.
They did a Firestarter movie. That was what we were going to do. We were going to talk about that, and it just never came together.
Yeah, there's we were talking about, because you were talking about rebranding it, because it's called Watchers on the Couch Castle Rock, which that's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, because Castle Rock's not a thing.
Yeah, so I think, and I was telling you, it's like, okay, well, if you bring it back, I'll give you like a rough outline of our Watchers on the Couch format. And it's like, I think I'm not going to do that now. It's like, just do whatever show you want.
Okay.
And because like that was the thing. It's like, if we're going to call everything Watchers on the Couch, then I expect like when people listen to know that they're getting Watchers on the Couch. But I think like Watchers on the Couch is basically just like a network at this point. Mm-hmm. And then if we have other people come in, just do whatever fucking show you want. And it'll be like Watchers on the Couch Presents. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can call it like, I don't know, the Cast of the Crimson King or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. Just whatever show we happen to be doing or subject. But a thing I liked about our show actually is that we sort of moved around and did what we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like subject wise, we talked about the movie that came out that week, or we talked about, we actually didn't do any book breakdowns, but whatever TV show was popular in the Stephen King world at the time we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway,
there's so much stuff that we could do, and it's just like time and ability, because like there's no reason like we couldn't do like Listeners on the Couch, where we talk about music. I make you watch these stupid fucking German folk rock music videos and we react to them.
Well, stupid is relative.
Stupid is relative. No, they're great. I love them. You had that idea a long time ago, like, because Watchers on the Couch is kind of subject to when other people put stuff out, that we could just talk about like entertainment news for the type of stuff that we would cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that's a great idea.
Like genre entertainment, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But I think that would be a good thing to be like a YouTube first kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that would be an effort to like slap something like that together. But I think it would be cool to try to do a pilot, like a proof of concept one about what that would look like, what the effort to actually put something like that together is.
Yeah. Well, it's getting very granular and specific about why it's hard for me to do podcasts now is my schedule. Like, I get off at 6:45 in the morning, okay? Mm-hmm. My free time is after work.
Yeah.
And we used to record the podcast right after work. So I would show up at her house. I used to get off at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I would arrive at her house at 8:15 or around about. And, I feel like I'm asking a lot of people because I am, and that's super early. You know what I'm saying? I have an extra day off on the weekends now, so that does free up some time. But really, it is just a scheduling thing. I watch a lot of TV. I you know what I'm saying? Like, I pull in enough content that I can easily talk about it with you guys, as we did today. But it's just a matter of getting on the same page, and that's hard to do.
Yep.
We're adulting.
We are adulting.
You guys way more than me, but I'm over here playing guitar, and you guys are raising babies.
Even Mike's got a different schedule to me, and his schedule to mine's pretty close.
Yeah.
But he's got to go to bed by the time we're done wrapping up because he gets up earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm like the most flexible, but even then, I'm not that flexible. Nice.
What a way to end the show, huh?
That gets us our 1-star review, Chris.
Dude,
who burps on a podcast?
Did you listen to that episode?
No.
Well, not the burp episode, but I'm talking about when we talked about it. Because obviously you know about it.
I know about it.
Yeah,
I must have listened to it.
Well, I tried to gather the horses to try to get people to 5-star me so that my reviews would fucking go up a little bit because I went down to 1 star. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If one person gives you a 1-star review and your shit goes all the way down, like, you need help, obviously. So I was trying to get you guys to do that, and most of you did, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, but, sorry, guys out there. I burp on a podcast once in a while.
I forget to edit out some of Mike's
I think it was a coffee day.
And what did you say? You got to edit out all my coughs?
Yeah, I forget to edit some of those. I don't think I did.
I don't think it's important, really.
I don't think I edited any of them out for this last episode.
Do you have a mute button?
No. I mean, I could get Mike a cough button. That would help. But
you could have a mixer next to you and just pull it down like a master, and just pull it down anytime people are coughing and then go back up.
That's a good thing about doing the video is that I can see when Mike's about to cough, so I could do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'll lean out, so I'm away from the mic.
Yeah. Well, how do we close this up?
I have no idea how to close out an episode like this.
You still haven't figured that out?
No.
Yeah, maybe we do Last of Us. Maybe that'll. Otherwise, I think maybe this is just the year where we just experiment with different things. And
I was trying to look up anticipated TV shows, and none of them looked that good. But I didn't go through multiple websites. Did you know there's a Justified that's going to be rebooted, or
it's not rebooted? It's going to be
15 years after or something.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
I know you were into that show.
I love Justified. It's one that actually ends. That has a good ending too. Most people don't know how to end a show.
Yeah, apparently they didn't end it. Hopefully it's good.
Well, they decided they didn't like the ending. And somebody's like, yeah, we didn't like it either. Okay, I'll give you millions of dollars.
This made a buttload of money. Let's do it again.
I feel like that's why Picard started. It's like, we didn't like the way the last movie ended. So here's...
I do like Oliphant, though. He's great.
He's great. And then they killed him in Star Wars. And I was like, well, fuck.
Which one? Mandalorian?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
They killed him off. It's like...
That was a cool villain, though.
Was it?
Yeah, I liked him. Western style.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's this guy from this show." It's like, I haven't seen that, so I don't care about him.
He just looks like Eddie from Iron Maiden.
A little bit.
I say we watch. Maybe we do The Last of Us.
Okay.
But let's. I don't know really anything about it.
I don't either.
So I'd rather watch the first episode. Then maybe we can talk to each other about it. See if it's even something we want to cover.
Yeah, maybe we
might be like,
We might do Last of Us in like same as we did his Dark Materials. We'll do it like every other week.
Yeah.
And
I think people would be interested in an Invincible show.
They might be.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Well, that's that's where we run into the problem is
scheduling,
workload. I'm just throwing out ideas. Like the stuff I was most interested in is basically Invincible.
And Invincible came out weekly, right? Like they didn't just dump it all at once.
They put up 2 or 3 at first,
right?
And then then it was weekly.
Yep. All right.
They're trying to hook you.
They did.
They did.
I only did the first episode, really.
They had me from the get, man. I love those comics so much. That's like, those are some of the ones that actually get stolen from me. That's another thing that happened this year. Got robbed. Cool. Never put stuff in your apartment storage. That's the lesson learned.
Got robbed, just like Mad God with the Oscars.
Exactly. What they did is they unscrewed the fucking door. That's all they had to do.
Are the hinges on the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very stupid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried telling them that. They just put them back on. Cool.
Yeah, Invincible was wild. Like you kind of knew because it was like Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
But yeah, you watch that first episode. It's like, yeah, it's just a superhero movie, and then that thing fucking ends. Like, was that just a post-credit scene where it just got crazy violent at the end, or was that actually the very end of the episode?
I need to rewatch them.
I was like, holy shit.
Yep. Good stuff, man.
All right.
Well,
thanks for listening to our bonus episode. We will catch you sometime next year. And until next time, I'm Tim.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chris Naes.
And now our watch is ended until 2023.
Bye.
Well, here's where the music goes. Is there music?
There is now.
Okay.
Good job.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you made it this far into the show, let me just say thanks. It means a lot that you take the time to listen to us goof around, and we'd love to hear from you and let us know how we're doing. Consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or wherever you leave your podcast reviews, and reach out on any of our various social media channels. Links in the description.